Ladies and gentlemen, to tell you about a revolutionary approach to attendee reporting and tracking, please welcome Blitz Communications digital media product developer, Richard Northcott.
Hello, Glastonbury. I've always wanted to do that. It was a great gig, wasn't it? Welcome to the Blitz Connection. Great to see you all here. Thanks for coming. Good to see a few familiar faces out there. And I know I've had a chance to chat with a few of you already, so thank you very much. For those of you who don't know me, I am Richard Northcott. I am quite tall. I also have a very long job title, which is digital media product developer. So my role at the Blitz is looking after some of the new innovative digital technologies that we make available to the industry we work in. Many of them are available only through Blitz. They are homemade products. First of all, I'd like to say I am thrilled today to be presenting at the Science Museum. Being a slightly geeky, a mech-eng graduate, maths, physics, all those things, this was the place of my childhood dreams. There is not a single button I have not pressed in this museum at some point. But there's another family connection as well. And what is that, Rich, I hear you say? Well, if you take a visit to the original part of the museum, up to level 2, which is a history of computing, you'll find this beast here, which is a computer, believe it or not. It's called the Pegasus, and it's made by the Ferranti company, a British company, in the mid-50s. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, my mother, she'd kill me if she knew I was doing this, my mother used to work on that. She used to work for Fokker, the aircraft manufacturers, so doing airframe calculations, stress calculations, and at that time, you know, those sums could not be done until the microcomputer came along. Micro is not the right word for that, actually, is it? But it was solving all these mathematical problems that couldn't be done prior to that point in time. And I'm going to use this as an illustration of just how far technology has come, and certainly in our lifetimes as well. So let's compare the Pegasus with the iPhone 5, which essentially, although it is a phone, is a computer when all is said and done. So the Ferranti Pegasus will set you back a whopping £1.1 million. That's the starting price. That's before you add the input and output devices and so on. So that's kind of the base cost. The iPhone 5 will cost you 550 quid roughly. So that is 2,000 iPhones for one Pegasus. The size, you can go and see it. It's a large room. The iPhone fits in your pocket. These next stats are a bit rough and ready, but you'll get the idea. The memory of the iPhone is 671,000 times that of the Pegasus. And as far as the speed is concerned, the iPhone is 166,000 times faster. So all that in your pocket, that's just how far we've come. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about event technologies. So let's crack on with that. This particular session is called How Does Your Event Measure Up? So using event technologies to measure the attendee journey at your event. Ultimately, this comes down to return on investment. Many of you are event organisers and so on. You put a lot of time, money, effort and resources into events. But what information do you get back on that? How do you measure those? And how do you give that really crucial information to your clients? What kind of things are important and how can we do this? Well, traditional approaches to event measuring might be things like checking people in, making a checklist of who's there, things like barcode scanning on exhibition stands, trade shows, we've all probably seen that, experienced that, and maybe after the event, monitoring its success through feedback surveys, questionnaires, and so on. So all that's been in place for some time now. But what kind of information is really important to event organisers? Things like attendee numbers, types of attendees there. What time did they arrive? What time did they leave? Which presentations did they go to? And how long were they actually in those presentations? How full are rooms? How many people do we need to get teas, coffees, lunches for? Who's in the building? Where are the busy areas in the venue? Which areas perhaps are underutilised, which have got a bit of free space? So, introducing, from Blitz Communications, EventMetrics, the live industry's most advanced reporting solution. I'm going to flip this presentation on its head and actually start at the end, rather than the beginning, with the reporting. Because ultimately, this is what this system is all about. It's about quantifiable event data. So this glossy report that we can give to yourselves and your clients at the end of the event contains stats like this. So for each event day, what kind of people were there by category? who came back, who did one day only, who attended multiple days. All that really valuable data. In a session room, what is the breakdown of people there? What types of people? Today we've got Science Museum, we've got Blitz people, we've got guests, we've got partners as well. So 4 categories of people today. How long were those people there? You can see that the staff in the orange there had a rough ride there. They seem to have the longest hours on site, so that's quite normal. That shows you the breakdown of their attendance at the event over the 3 event days. And arrival times. We can actually graphically plot the venue filling up over time. So doors open, you can see the pattern of people arriving as the event picks up speed. So that's a few key stats. And EventMetrics offers 3 levels of reporting. Firstly, we have a kind of really broad level section which shows overall numbers of people and what type of people. So how many people in the venue, what categories of people are in the venue. The second level, and think about a conference where you've got multiple presentation rooms, we can look at an individual session and the breakdown of people in that room. So, what kinds of people have you got there? How many people have you got there? And who are they? And finally, we can actually zone in on the individual and look at their attendee journey. What did they do? What was their journey at the event? Which spaces did they go to? How long did they spend there? So right down to the individual attendee. So really powerful data. But wait, there's more. What if I was to tell you that EventMetrics makes all this data available to you in real time? Think of the opportunities that opens up to you. You can monitor venue capacity. You can perhaps modify your presentation in real time if you know what kind of people you've got in the room. You can plan teas and coffees accurately with numbers of people in the venue. You can relocate sessions and much, much more. Different people use this system in different ways. There's lots of different ways that this data can be applied. And here's another use. One of our clients in particular has a real problem with wayward delegates. So their burning question is, where's Wally? Has he arrived? And of course, with his EventMetrics badge, we can tell them, yeah, Wally arrived and he was last seen at the entrance half an hour ago, say. So all that data available there and then via the system. So the Blitz EventMetrics package is a fully encompassing solution. I'd love to say it comes in that box. It doesn't, with a nice bit of tape on top, but it takes care of the entire event process. So the on-site registration, you guys have been through that upstairs here today, badge printing, the real-time reporting, and finally the post-event reporting, which is where my presentation started off. So this covers the 3 stages of the live event. So registration, during the event, and after the event. So let's kick off with registration. When you arrived this morning, you arrived at the desk upstairs, the lovely Liz and Carol there. They took your names, and we can search by any part of your first name, your last name, or your company. So as a checking in registration system, it's hugely powerful and very, very fast. Many people love it just for that as a starting point. And once we found your name, we print the badges. Now, this opens up an interesting question here because traditionally, many of our clients have pre-printed all of the badges. And if you've got 800 delegates, and you can imagine a table with 800 badges, and I say, I'm Richard Northcott, they go, right, okay. And it's not a quick process. We've really streamlined that by printing on demand. So as you saw, as and when you turned up, out pops the badge, and it takes literally 2 seconds to print. So really streamlining the arrival process on site. And that's the printer that you'll have seen upstairs that actually does the printing onto the RFID badges. So a little bit more about these. These are 4 inches by 3 inches, which is a very industry standard size badge. There's a whole plethora of holders that you can buy online to contain them, so lots of options, lanyards, clips, and so on. And the Blitz branding, the blue colour here is pre-printed, and we print your name in black and white as and when you arrive. The key thing about this badge, this is the interactive bit of my presentation. If you grope around the middle of your badge, you'll feel a little lump there. That is the RFID chip. So as your badges were printed, we also encode that chip, which makes the data connection between you and the badge that you're wearing. So you guys are all EventMetrics badged up right now. And what is RFID? Many of you probably have a vague feel for it, but there's lots of applications in the real world. I love the RFID kitty cat flap. So this will only let through the Moggy who is wearing a certain RFID chip in its tag. Likewise, security key fobs for buildings, RFID is used in those. I used my Oyster card on the tube to get here today. So that is all RFID-based technology. However, what we're doing is using a family of RFID called UHF, or ultra-high frequency. And that really opens up what we can do, because the read range of an Oyster card, it's actually about 1 meter, but they take the power levels down because you don't want to be scanning people back in the queue. It's about that. But with the UHF technology, that range is increased between 5 and 10 meters. So we can use these scanners at key locations in the venue, perhaps doorways, entrances, and all the delegate needs to do, or attendee I should say, is walk past that location, through that portal. It's as simple as that. So there is no requirement to have a phone, or NFC, or an app running, or Bluetooth turned on, or the phone charged. They have the technology, they're wearing it. It's really kind of delegate-proof, may I say. And as the badge is printed, as I was saying, it encodes that kind of rather gobbledygooky number there into the chip in the badge, which is my unique ID, a little bit like a barcode in the system, and it categorizes me as well. So I'm an exhibitor in this case, and I'm from the United Kingdom. So in the reporting, I can look at, for example, which exhibitors are here and which UK exhibitors are here. So we can break it down by those two different levels. So what are the advantages of RFID over something more traditional like barcode scanning? Well, it's very quick and it's very discreet. This has really helped our delegates optimize the flow of delegates, particularly if you're changing sessions. If you've got 4 presentation rooms all running simultaneously and you need to move hundreds of people between different locations in usually 4 or 5 minutes, the system can handle that throughput. You haven't got to stop and scan people as they make that journey. And corporates, financials, they don't like being stopped and scanned anyway, so it's very, very discreet, totally hands-off, totally robust, and delegate-proof, as I say. Key as well is using barcode scanning. Typically, people might be scanned into a room, but they're not scanned out. So you have no notion of how long they were in that session. All we know is that they attended. EventMetrics will tell you how long each person was in the session. I touched on the robustness of the badges. Now, we tested this system back at the Blitz warehouse, and one of my colleagues put his through the hot wash 3 times, and it still worked. Okay, so pretty indestructible. It has been proven. Think about the labour savings as well. You don't need hosts or hostess to stop and scan people. It's all taken care of by the hands-off badge scanners. And it's secure as well. It's quite easy to clone a barcode. It's very difficult to clone an RFID encoding in these badges. So, where would we position these scanners? I've just got a little floor plan there on the left-hand side. Typically, entrances to presentation rooms, perhaps foyers, reception areas, main entrances to the venue, and so on. It all comes down to what data you want to capture. And on the right-hand side, you can see the scanner there. It's literally a case of walking past that object. You don't even need a direct line of sight with the badge. Now, if this is in my pocket or in my bag, it will still work because it relies on radio frequency, not line of sight, unlike a barcode scanner. So we can read hundreds of tags every second as people make their way around the venue spaces. So that's the badging process, that's the scanner's position. What information can we give to event organisers and ultimately their clients during the event? Remember, all of this is in real time. We can look up any attendee very quickly by name. We can look at their scan history. So that's the complete attendee journey for me, actually, in this case, and the previous event. You can see what I've been up to. And of course, when we compare my journey history with our knowledge of what sessions are on, in which rooms, where and when, what pops out is the session timings. It's effectively the name and manifest for each presentation. So the system combines the two together, and lo and behold, that's all the people that were in that session, and more importantly, how long they were in there, all in real time. Another nice feature of the system is what we call the event heat map. I'm just going to play a video in a moment. This is from an event we ran at the ACC Convention Centre in Liverpool. We had about 12 scanners located around the venue, and you'll see, as we step through time, you will see which areas of the building were busy. So if you look at the dots there you go, that's people registering, and as we go through the day, you'll see on the left-hand side, people will start to move into the presentation areas. These are different floors we're looking at. There you go, that's a presentation. Okay. And as this video approaches the evening, in the middle section, you'll see a massive influx of people into the arena there for a kind of a gala dinner. So we're at 3 o'clock now, 4 o'clock, here we go. People are leaving the venue about now. They're going, getting their dicky bows on and so on. There they go, into the venue for the evening function. Okay, so we can actually analyse the event, look at where was busy and when, perhaps lay things out differently in the future to optimise the flow of people for that event. And then we come back to where we started, which is this really powerful, all-encompassing post-event reporting. So not only do we produce this PDF document with lots of lovely charts, stats, and so on, and the contents of that will vary from job to job depending on what you're measuring and what the client needs to know about. But we also make all data available in an Excel format. So we can give you those names and lists to analyse to your heart's content, email addresses and so on for further processing. So we don't certainly keep anything to ourselves. So that's EventMetrics in a nutshell. We can also do some other quite clever things with the badges. So if you can imagine that you're at an event and you want to print perhaps a personalised schedule, an agenda or something that's specific to you, you can touch your badge on the scanner here in the middle and the screen will say, "Hello, Richard Northcott, what do you want to do?" And you'll touch, okay, print my schedule. It knows who I am, so at that point, out pops on a piece of paper my personalised meeting schedule for that point in time for that day. So it's actually using it as a delegate tool rather than perhaps, as well as a tracking device. And that's a key benefit. I mean, many delegates really value the way that they can perhaps check in seamlessly on days 2 and 3 of an event. They can just walk in the venue, be checked in automatically by the system. They've got these kind of delegate toys to play with. So the fact that we're tracking them is kind of neither here nor there, as far as they're concerned. It's got real benefits in terms of their time at the event and the experience that they're having. So, to sum up, 6 things that EventMetrics can do for you. Here we go. We can streamline the attendee arrival experience. Hopefully you all found the registration upstairs to be extremely quick and efficient. That was EventMetrics in action. We can save money through reduced on-site labour. We don't need a host or a hostess for every room to do the scanning. We don't need people to manage tables of badges to try and find your name in rows of thousands of things. So it can be run on a very kind of tight labour force. We can improve the efficiency of attendee movements around the event. We don't get bottlenecks as we're stopping and scanning people at rooms and key locations in the venue. We can augment the attendee experience through bolt-ons like this printing station that I showed you earlier and streamlining the returning arrival process of subsequent days. We can optimize the event. We can tailor sessions based on who we know is in the room, how many people, what type of people we've got, and what are their interests. We can adapt our presentations in real time. And most importantly, we can quantify the success of each and every event with real, solid EventMetrics-based data. Cool, so that's all I've got to say for now. Thanks for your attention. I will be on hand in the Blitz, the In Future zone, upstairs level 3, to actually show the system. I know some of you have come to see it already. I'll also be back to present later today just to show you a few of the statistics that we've captured this morning. So thanks for your attention, and I'll see you later. Cheers.